Good morning and welcome to Morning Movie News. Today's episode is going to be a little shorter because not a big news day, and also there are a ton of episodes coming out later today. A number of trailer reviews and also my review of Riddick. So keep an eye on this channel all through the rest of the day today and a little bit through the weekend probably because there's just so much content I'm trying to get up and I have to give each of it a little bit of room to breathe. But I didn't want to skip morning movie news because I appreciate that so many of you make it a part of your day. So the first story is that Alan Taylor is in negotiations to direct Terminator 5. Great choice for Terminator 5. Bad choice, I think, for Alan Taylor. Alan Taylor made a name for himself directing HBO television shows, most notably Game of Thrones, and he just moved up to movies with Thor: The Dark World. And while I have some reservations about the film Thor going a little darker, the more I see the trailer, the more excited I am, and I think that he looks like he did a really great job with the source material, most of all because he treated it seriously. And I think that's what the Terminator franchise really needs, someone who's going to take it seriously. So Alan Taylor, great choice. And also, we've been talking a lot about movies versus TV lately here on the show. And this is a great example of television talent that does a great job moving up to the film level. And hopefully, from what we're seeing so far, maintaining their levels of quality from television. Alan Taylor hasn't been corrupted by Hollywood, the movie level, just yet. But why do I think this is a bad choice for Alan Taylor? You and I have gotten into an argument about this before, some BTT viewers and myself, over whether or not Arnold Schwarzenegger's career can continue. Most notably on my escape plan review for the trailer. I said that I just couldn't think of Arnold Schwarzenegger the same way anymore after the affair that he had with his housekeeper. And a number of you have pointed out and said, well, listen, Grace, lots of people have affairs. You can't just stop watching. I mean, we couldn't watch any movies if we didn't watch anybody who cheated on their spouse or got divorced. But I would say you're missing the forest for the trees here. I'm not upset that Arnold Schwarzenegger, well, I mean, obviously it's not a very nice thing to do, but I don't dislike him and can't really look at him the same way because he cheated on Maria Shriver. My problem is that he had an affair with someone who was in the house, who lived there with this family, interacted with his family, knew his family, had a child with that person, still didn't tell his family that was his child, although when you look at the child, how did they not guess? But then raised the child with his own family, and they interacted with his illegitimate child and thought and had no idea that was their stepson or step sibling. And I think that's just a really horrible thing to do. It's a huge betrayal of trust, and also for Arnold Schwarzenegger and his maid to have the secret between the two of them, almost laughing at Maria Shriver and his children, because behind their backs, I mean, everybody in the room doesn't know something that these two people do. And I thought that was just really horrible. And for him to do that, it was really one of the worst things I've heard of anybody doing it in a marriage to somebody else, besides obviously physically harming them. So that's why Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think, has been ruined for me. And while a number of you are defending him here online, you can see that his box office track record has been horrible. He has not been able to bounce back. Now, you could blame his choice of projects. That might be the problem. So maybe a Terminator film would work. But I would be interested to see if other people have the same problem and just can't get behind it. So I think that maybe if they could do a Terminator franchise, continue it without Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe get Linda Hamilton back in there, stuff like that, that would be good. But right now, I just don't think the franchise can continue with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is too bad, because I really loved him in that role. T2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. Really well done. So that's Terminator 5, which I kind of think is DOA, no matter what talent or money they pour into it, which is just such a shame. So that's the first story of the day. The second story is that Benedict Cumberbatch, boy, his Oscar campaign is really shaping up to be really impressive. I think almost for sure he's going to get nominated because the LA branch of the BAFTAs has just nominated him for Entertainer of the Year for Best UK Talent representing UK talent abroad. And of course, he certainly deserves the award. Not only has he made Sherlock very popular here, but also it was the main villain in Star Trek Into Darkness. The entire ad campaign was built around him, and he has so many movies coming out the fall. He's in 12 Years a Slave, he's in August Osage County, and he's obviously in The Fifth Estate, which he looks quite good in. I think that's where he's going to get his nomination. But this is how Oscar campaigns work. They start getting you accolades. Everyone will attend the ceremony in November. It's going to be held in Los Angeles, and everyone will say such wonderful things about Benedict Cumberbatch, and everyone in the audience will be like, "Oh yes, oh he is wonderful." Oh, because there's a bit of a lemming mentality in Hollywood. And then when they go to fill out their ballots, they'll be like, "I've heard such great things about Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm going to nominate him." And I haven't seen The Fifth Estate. I hope that he gets, I hope that it looks very good though. I'll be seeing it soon, as will you. It comes out next month. But I think Benedict Cumberbatch is definitely deserving of this talent. And as I've mentioned before, I think that he was introduced not in the best way to a lot of people here in the United States through Star Trek Into Darkness. I feel that's his weakest role to date, actually. So I'm excited for everyone to try to maybe see what all the excitement is about and give him a second shot and, see him in these other films. So, but the wheels are turning. People behind the scenes are really gunning to get Benedict Cumberbatch an Oscar nomination, and this is a big step forward for them with this BAFTA award. The other story, oh yes, this is a story that was covered in the Hollywood Reporter just the other day, and it's about some difficult situations coming up with releasing films with stars posthumously. Now, obviously, the most famous example of this is Heath Ledger, who tragically passed away, but then there was still the release of The Dark Knight, and also the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus that he was in. And they found a clever way to fix that, and that they had other actors kind of fill in for him, very prestigious actors who a number of them were friends of his in real life, and I think they handled that well. But also those were very epic fantasy films where I think the characters themselves moved beyond the actors. So I think there was a separation there. But there are two stars who unfortunately passed away recently, James Gandolfini and Corey Monteith. And they have films that are coming up. James Gandolfini is Enough Said with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And also Corey Monteith has two films. One is Mechanic and the other is All the Wrong Reasons. And so the question is, and the Hollywood Reporter article was talking about the delicate situation these producers are in, not wanting to shelve their films, which obviously not only did the talent who died sadly work very hard on, but a number of other people worked hard on them as well. But can the film survive? Especially when it's so raw, these characters' death. I mean, obviously, we watch old films with actors that have passed away all the time. But something so raw like this, and the manner under which these actors died, both of them died tragically and too soon, really, for both of them. James Gandolfini of a heart attack and Corey Monteith of a drug overdose. It might be hard to really escape into the films. But I'm wondering, what do you think? Are you interested in seeing a movie with James Gandolfini and or Corey Monteith so soon after their deaths? Do you think you can separate the film, especially when it's a lighter touch film, it's not a big epic fantasy with lots of costumes and makeup? Do you think that you can separate the two? And do you plan on seeing these movies? Enough Said, Mechanic, and All the Wrong Reasons. So write your thoughts down below. Thank you for tuning in to Morning Movie News. Again, thank you for making it a part of your day. I love talking to you guys every day and seeing your comments down below and getting to answer your questions and stuff like that. I didn't get to answer a question today, but you'll see that I did answer some questions actually that you guys have been bringing up in some of my trailer reviews that will go up later today and tomorrow. So check back in. First up will be the Riddick. Someone did ask for me to try and announce videos in advance when I can. Sometimes I don't know what's going up exactly when, so I can't, but I do know that the Riddick review will be going up very shortly, so keep an eye out for that. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.